Every 300 hours, I change the oil, the spark plugs, the air filter, the oil filter, fuel filter, and I assess the batteries and see if they're okay or not. Yeah, the air filter's in here, hour meter. Let's see. It takes 91 fuel only. Yes, you could put cheaper fuel in there, but that's not good for the engine, and that's just not what we're going to tell the customers or anybody. Just put 91 fuel only because it's better for the.
Give me this real quick. I'm shooting this for the video.
All right. This is a Honda 6500 generator. It runs at 45 amp max. This is actually a modification that the film industry and rental houses put in after the market. This did not come with a Honda. We put this in specially so we can use 4K lights and 2.5 lights. Here's a voltage meter. You can adjust it up and down to make sure you have 120 volts constantly. Keep it in this low 120 mode. You guys don't need 240. You'll never use that. It's for construction equipment. It's not for us. Just keep it in 120. Here's the breaker. I don't know.
Does this master breaker cut service to this?
I don't know. That's something I'm going to be testing in about 30 minutes.
I would assume it does because these are individual breakers for that.
Now, the bottom circuits do not work. They will never work because when they go in and they install this, they reroute the power, whatever. Anyway, they take away this 20 amp circuit to give us this 60 amp base. The top one works. I'm going to put one of those little baby plastic things in and put don't use as well, even smaller right there. But you can use this top courtesy. And I always give out a 60 amp gang box with it. Now, 60 amp gang box. That being said, grab that, Creasy. This 60 amp gang box. Oh, hey, you can put a 2K, 2K, 2K. None of these switches are gonna pop. So you can pull 60 amps through here. None of these switches are gonna pop. But guess what? This generator is a 45 amp max. So guess what? You should only be about 40 amps total. Now, how do I know if it's 40 amps? You can calculate it by dividing the wattage by the voltage, which is 120. So 1,000 watts divided by 120 volts is 8.6 amps, or 8.3 amps. So I know if I have 10 1Ks on here, that I'm at 83 amps, and I'm double what I should have. So don't do that. And you'll probably see this thing chugging or making a crazy noise. Don't ever go more than 45 amps. And if you're at 45 amps, it should only be for a 30-minute period. It should be at 80% capacity.
So in layman's terms, you should be no more than 4,000 watts of lights. So if you got two 2Ks, four
exactly,
1Ks,
about 4,000.
And now that doesn't allow for line loss.
I'd say about 45,000, 4,500.
4,000 is safe, 45 is your add-on for overtime. And
yeah.
It also allows out of this service. If you run 300 feet that direction, you're going to have line loss and draw more power. So you may want me to run 3 1Ks, just to let you know. Paul, show me a startup procedure real quick.
All right, startup procedure. You should always check to make sure you have oil and gas. Don't check don't trust the gauge. Gauges on any Genny, I wouldn't trust it. You should just look in and see. You want to make sure it's up to this yellow line right here. Then you know it's full. You can pour gasoline in while it's running. It's okay. Just make sure you don't have touch something metal so you get rid of the static electricity. Over here, guys. If you come over here, here's where the oil is. It takes 10W30. Here's the oil. You should just be able to see it. Up. It'll barely pour out. That means it's right level with this. That's fine. It poured out a little bit. That means it's got plenty of oil. It's probably because of the way that it's leveled right now that it came out a little bit. But yeah, if it were to not have oil, then you would just go get a 10W30 and pour cord in, but I doubt you'll have to do that.
Fire up.
Sure.
Shoot this for the video.
All right. So make sure it's always in the off position when you leave it. Otherwise, you're going to kill the batteries very, very, very fast. So I'm going to put it to on. You're going to hear a little click. I heard a little click. I'm going to pull out the choke, put it into auto, which turn off the breaker. Put the choke in. Right now it's on auto, which means it's only going as fast as it needs to. It's not running at full capacity. If you're running a cell phone charger, this is where you want to be at, an auto throttle. That way it's only barely using gas. If I'm about to plug a 4K in, if I'm about to plug 2 2Ks in, I know I'm going to put a load on this. I want to get the Genny and the engine ready for it and already at the RPMs.
Keep talking.
Already at there, so all I'm going to do is push into off, and it's going to put the generator into full speed. That way it'll be ready for that 4K. you for HMIs, you've got to have it in full throttle because the ballasts need to charge before it actually strikes.
I would note that as full, just so they know.
Yeah, full throttle. Yeah,
memory, yeah, so
full throttle. Full throttle.
That's what I need. Thank you, sir.
Okay.